Hello and welcome to the Awaken Feminine podcast. I'm your host, KaKi Lee, and if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on another episode. Today I want to talk about using your voice. And this episode is probably more targeted towards my female listeners than my male listeners, but I'll love the male listeners to stay and listen as well. So on the weekend, I had a conversation with a male. We were both waiting for our children and we started talking. And it started being evident that on the topic of discussion, my views on the topic were different to his. And let me say, I really don't care what your viewpoints are. I accept them because I really believe the beauty of being a human being is that we all have different viewpoints. We all have different beliefs and values because we have all had different life experiences, right? And it is these different ideas and different experiences that allow us to think outside the box, to then create and to innovate and to produce exciting, juicy products and services for people. Because if you think about it, if we didn't have these people that had different opinions and ideas to everyone else, then we wouldn't need creativity, we wouldn't need innovation, because we would not be able to think outside the box because we are all thinking the same, right? So for me, if I'm interested in a topic, I do try and see all the different viewpoints and then take what sits right with me, right? It may not sit right with you and you might have a different viewpoint even if you look at all the same evidence that I looked at, but that's okay. That's human life. We interpret things differently. Even like if you have a scientific study, you might have the scientists that did the study have a certain conclusion, but then you have other scientists reading the study, then making their own conclusions, right? So we just all interpret things and see things differently, humans. So during the conversation, it was evident, as I was saying, that he had a completely different viewpoint to me, and that didn't sit right with him. So the way he was talking to me was in a very condescending tone, which agitated my wild woman inside, okay? And so I was reactive. I knew he was not comfortable with my opinions and my views. And every single time he came back with something, I gave him my views again, right? And the thing was, what agitated me, as I said, was not his opinions or his viewpoints. It was the way he was speaking to me. He was condescending and he was mansplaining things to me like I was an idiot. And that doesn't sit right with me. The old KaKi would have just nodded and smiled and just let it go. But in the last 6 months especially, I've been really working on using my voice, being heard and being seen. And so although, yes, I was reactive because he was triggering this, triggering in me, what he was triggering in me was that he was trying to suppress my voice. He was suppressing my opinions. He was not seeing my point of view, right? And you don't have to agree with my point of view, but I want you to also understand why I have my point of view, right? So it was the whole not being heard, not being seen. He's just like mansplaining and being condescending and would not even be open to a different reality, a different viewpoint. And that's all okay until he said this to me. He said, you know, I'll be really careful what you read and what you believe. And the wild woman in me was like, you will not tell me what to think and what to believe. It really, really, really got me worked up because for so long my voice has been suppressed by myself, right? And to have someone else blatantly try to suppress my voice, it really released the wild woman in me. And so whilst I was very civil with him, there was tension definitely between us. I could feel it. It really woke me up. It really woke the wild woman in me up to go, you know what? I have a voice and I'm going to use it. I'm going to talk about what I believe in. I don't care if other people don't believe in it, but that's my beliefs and that's what I think. And if someone else can see my point of view, they can either have compassion and empathy for my beliefs and my values, or they can just, keep believing what they believe, and that's okay. The thing is to accept other people's point of views and not make them feel like an idiot for believing in something that is completely different to you, right? So I want to repeat this for every single man and woman who, you guys are all my brothers and sisters, who have been in situations where their voice has been suppressed. They're not being heard and not being seen. And the wild woman or the wild man inside is like, hear me out, listen to me, see me. But you've been too scared to speak up because you don't want to offend. You don't want to be not liked. You don't want to look like an idiot because everyone else thinks differently and you're the only person that thinks a particular way. Think of it this way. The fact that you think differently is awesome, because if we all thought the same, then there, as I said before, there'll be no need for creativity and innovation. If we all thought the same, then we would not be progressing. Think of people like Coco Chanel. We wouldn't have the little black dress if it wasn't for her. We would probably still be wearing corsets, right? Think of Emmeline Pankhurst. Women would probably still not have the right to vote if it wasn't for someone like her stepping up and telling women to rise because we should have equal rights to men, right? Just think about it. Think about Malala. She was so young when she got shot by the Taliban because she was fighting for something that she believed in, but it was not the main narrative in her country. Girls were not supposed to be educated. Girls aren't meant to be educated. And they were trying to suppress her voice. Think about all these people. The fact that you think differently doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a unique person. And the thing is, everyone is unique. But we all need to make a conscious choice of what our beliefs are, what our values are. Because for too long, we are programmed to just think like everyone else because of the little black box we call a television, right? If you spend all your time watching the news, you are being brainwashed, right? You're being brainwashed because they are telling you what to think. And if you don't use your own discernment and your own logic and go and do your research to see if that is the truth, then you are not consciously thinking for yourself. So this has kind of like deviated from using your voice, but let's go back to using your voice, right? So the wild woman in me was like fully woke. I'm not having my voice suppressed anymore. The thing is, women for so long, for thousands of years, have had their voice suppressed. And it's really only in the last 100 and something years where we've now had the right to vote, where we have women represent in parliament, right? And now women in the last 10, 20 years are fighting to have the same pay as men because they are just as capable, if not more capable than men, right? I'm not diminishing the value of men, but women are just as capable, right, as men. I just want to repeat that. Women are just as capable as men. And the thought of suppressing my voice any longer just makes me sad. getting a bit emotional. Okay. Whew. Because if I don't use my voice, I am not giving other women the permission to use their voice, right? I am an emotional being and I'm human. So if I don't express my beliefs and opinions, then other people are affected because they don't have it's a disservice to them because they don't see a different point of view. Yes, they might. The thing is, beliefs and values can change because if you do your own research and look at different things, you might figure out or find out that what your values and beliefs are doesn't actually serve you, right? Is the thing that has been probably keeping you playing small all your life. So if I suppress my voice, it means, it means that I'm not allowing other women to use their voice as well. So I want other women to know that it's okay to use your voice and that no one can tell you what to think and what to believe without your permission. Let me repeat that again. I love podcasts. I always have this thing about worrying what other people think about what I say. And here I am like crying like a mess and I don't really give a fuck. My message to all the women and all the men out there who are suppressing their voices, suppressing who they really are, too scared to be seen, too scared to be heard. These tears are for you because I can feel the pain. No one can tell you what to think and what to believe without your permission. No one. Don't let anyone tell you what to think or believe without your permission. And that is my takeaway for you for this podcast. And wow, I've made it through and I've just decided to not start again, even though I started crying, because I really want you to see how painful it is when you suppress your voice, because I'm feeling all of it right now and I know it's not just my pain. So that is it. Back to smiling. That is it from me today. Remember, no one can tell you what to think or believe without your permission. And use your voice. Use your voice for good, for the highest good. Spread your message, even if it means that it's, completely even if it's completely different to what other people think. Because I can tell you this right now, since last year when I've been working on this, being heard and being seen, and expressing my opinions, I've found lots of friends that have also think outside the box and also have different opinions to what everyone else is thinking. So don't be afraid to do it because you might lose the people that you have now. I can tell you that you will find the people that will bring you more joy and fill your cup even more because you are expressing who you really are. And these people will fill your cup even more because they understand you. They don't think you're a weirdo for having different points of views, because it's okay to have different points of views, right? And to all my sisters, my soul sisters and soul brothers that I've met last year, who I just love so much, this is for you guys. Thank you for being in my life. I love you guys so much. And for all the people that are suppressing their voices, I hope this will bring you some inspiration and some new beliefs around what it means to use your voice. And for everyone listening, really, if you believe that this episode will be helpful to anyone, then please share it. And as always, I love you, I believe in you, and always remember to spread love, joy, and kindness wherever you go. See you next episode, and hopefully I won't be crying.